Well, greetings everybody. So, yeah. Yeah, it's been a short minute since I've done anything here on live and all that good stuff, and I'm actually kind of stoked about this because well, I'm use well, let me let me just show you here first. Okay, so first things first, who am I? Yep, right here. So Brian Deckard, I am the owner, I'm the designer and developer here at Deckard and Company. We're a boutique marketing agency located on the Gulf Coast of Florida. So very good stuff, very good stuff. So why am I um kind of excited about this live stream? It was because Hmm. Yeah, I never in my life thought I would say this. And here it is. And here it is right here. Right here. Right here. Yeah. No way, Jose. Brian's gone full Mac mode. Yeah. 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 100% true. 100% true. Yep. Not sure what I'm thinking, but I'm giving it a shot. I am giving this thing a shot. And one of the really cool things that I love about going Mac is the fact that I am now able to use Ecamm Live. Yeah. There's a lot of things that I really like about Ecamm Live that all those other platforms j- they just they just couldn't do. They just couldn't do. And one of those things is quite simply I always strived for the best video quality that I could get. And using those other ones, the browser based and all that stuff. Yeah, the one platform that really worked for me while I was using PC was of course Prism Live Studio or OBS. Those they worked great because they used my gaming computer and and used its processing power to create some really nice looking videos. But it definitely had some limitations to it, so coming into the Mac world, yeah, which is kind of exciting for me, I guess. Yeah, definitely a learning curve. This is now week number 2 that I'm going into my Mac world here, and gotta say, the first day was a struggle. Second day, I started to get it. By the third day, I figured it out, and and then by the end of the week, I was pretty comfortable with the way the Mac works. The whole Mac ecosystem works. So yeah, I think it's pretty good stuff. So today's live stream, yep, is unscheduled. I just wanted to get on here and do something live, simply because I haven't had a chance to do it in quite a while. Um, so, and part of that is, I've done a couple of test live streams, of course, unregistered and all that stuff, because I wanted to see the process through Ecamm, and it just works. So here we are. I'm doing this quick live stream to talk about two things. No real agenda, but I just wanted to get on here and chit chat about a couple of things. So the first thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about a lot of my clients, and it's one of those things, and we're talking SEO real quick. So, one of the things that my clients are always asking is, why is SEO so expensive? And and the fact of the matter is, you're paying for time. In reality, you can do so many things on your own, and one of those things is what we're going to talk about right now. To do it right, there's a process, and I wrote an article about that, and I'm going to show you that article. So if you follow this article, you should be able to write a blog article, put it on your website, and if you do it right, that blog article, and you do this on a continuing basis. So you start it and you keep doing it. Don't stop. You have to schedule in when you're going to do this. My recommendation is, at least once a week would be great. If you don't have the time to do that, twice a month, but at least once a month, you know, that you want to create new content on your website because that's going to help you the most out of your SEO. Yeah. So keep that in mind. So this is something that you can do on your own. All right. So let's take a look at it right here. So here we are. We're on the old website here. And this is the article that I'm talking about. I just published this the other day, and it really is kind of cool. So I'm going to pop back in here every once in a while just to make sure. Okay. All right. So real quickly here, like I said, one of the easiest things that a person can do to help themselves out when it comes to their website being found. When someone goes to Google and they do a Google search for your product, your service, whatever it is you're offering, you've got to have some content on your website, not just one page. You know, the more content that you have about your products and services and that type of stuff, um, and you optimize those articles, they're going to have a very good potential to pop up in that SERP, that search engine result page. So when someone types in the Google machine, what they're looking for, let's say they're in Bradenton and they're looking for a, let's say they're looking for a med spa, so Bradenton Med Spa or Med Spa in Bradenton. Your one of your articles, your website, whatever, is going to populate in that SERP. So the more content you have. So let's say they want to dive down a little deeper and they're looking for, say, a deep tissue massage in Bradenton. That's going to be great. So, whether you have a page dedicated to deep tissue massage, which I hope you do, but then you also have some articles about that. So it's just going to, in Google's eyes, it's going to bring your relevant content up. So it's going to bring your page authority, your website authority, and all that stuff. It's going to bring it up. So it's going to bring you up in those results, which is what you want. So real quickly, and I am not going to go over all of it. So if you want to really see what it's all about, read the article and just follow it and get her done because it'll really honestly help you when it comes to optimizing your website for the Google machine. And not just the Google machine, it'll also optimize it for Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, Brave, all those browsers out there, all those search engines. It's going to help you. Okay, so real quickly here, and let me make myself a little smaller. Here we go. Okay, so on this page, we're going to scroll down, and we're just going to go over some of the highlights, I guess you could say. Just writing that that blog article. It's not just putting words on a page, as it says here. So if you really want your content to rank well with Google, you're going to need to follow a strategy, whether it's the strategy here, or you might have another strategy that you like, but follow that strategy. And it's just going to help you. It's just going to help you. So the first thing that you're really going to want to do here, and we're looking at it right here, which is, you're going to want to start with a keyword that matters. So every article that you write, you have to think about what the article is going to be about, which is that main keyword or key phrase. And real quickly here, how you can determine what you want to use. You can use tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush, the Google keyword planner. There's so many tools out there that you can use. Some are going to cost you money, some are free. But what you're looking for is like right here. You want to look at the search volume. You're also going to want to look at the competition rate. Is it low, medium, or high, or very high? Um, and then, the clear user intent. Is it informational or is it not just vague? So that kind of stuff, right? So when you look at the search volume, you know, anything over 500. So 500 means it's being searched for in 30 days, in a 30 day period of time. It's searched for 500 times. If you see something that's searched for 10 times, you might not want to go for that because it's not being searched for very, very often. But that would be considered some low-hanging fruit, where if the competition rate is very low, then you're going to rank well for that. And if you're good with 1 out of 10 times popping in there, then you could be good. So yeah. And then the tip for that right there is just simply, you want to use long tail keywords. And what the hell does that even mean? It basically means, like, if you look here, it's your key phrase is going to be how to write an SEO blog post instead of SEO blog. So you see, it puts a sentence together that a human would type into that search bar. So that's kind of what that is. And then just go down the list here and go through this nice little checklist and, see how you can put your blog post together. Now, a couple of things that I want to hit on real quick too here is, you want to get your structure correct. A lot of, and I've seen it with clients as well, that they don't structure their content correctly. They have too many H1s, which is your heading one tag, right? So that's that important tag structure that Google follows for the hierarchy of importance, right? So you can only have one H1 tag per page. So remember that. So one H1 tag, and then you've got your H2s, that's your core sections of your content, and then your H3s, and that's your subpoints under each section. So subpoints under your H2s. Just keep that. Then you want bullet points and numbered lists to improve readability. And then you want to make sure you use that main keyword or key phrase in that H1, and then sprinkle it, throughout the rest of the post, but don't go too crazy. Whatever you do, do not keyword stuff. You will be penalized. So write your article like a human freaking being. I can't stress that enough. So yeah, and right there, write like a human being. And there it is. So write conversationally if you can. Use an active voice and keep it clear and direct. And, break up the text with questions, examples, and short sentences. Just simple stuff like that. And yeah, so here we go down here. So here's another little thing that I get questions about all the time about linking. So you want to use internal and external links strategically. So you want to link 3 to 5 internal blog posts or pages, and then link to 2 to 3 high authority external sources. So an example, like for my site, I would link to like a HubSpot or a Moz or an SEM Rush or whatever, stuff like that. But then down here, you don't want to skip on-page basics as well. So your title tag, your meta description, make sure you stay within the character max limits. Your URL slug, your image alt text, very important. You want your keyword or key phrase to be within the first 100 words. Make sure it's mobile optimized, and of course, it's fast loading. Simple stuff. That's what we call on-page SEO. So yeah, so just read through, and I've got plenty of stuff in this article here that'll really honestly help you. And like I said, and then you don't have to pay someone like us to do your SEO, because you can really honestly at least do the basics of SEO yourself. and the basics of SEO. And if anybody's doing SEO for you and they're not doing any articles on your website, well, they're not doing SEO for you. I don't know what the hell they're doing for you. Probably nothing. You're paying them to do nothing. So any SEO person that you're paying for better be doing articles on your website. If they're not, get rid of them because they're not doing anything for you. Because Google is all about relative content and relevant content. They're looking to they're looking for your website, meaning you, to be the professional and the expert in your field. So create some articles. I know you don't want to hear that. I hate blogging too, but I do it. So there you go. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so real quickly, the next little topic I want to talk about is a little nerdy. We all want to, there's a lot of people out there that want to sell stuff online, right? They want to sell stuff online. And if you're, before I go down that path, and there's several ways to do it. If you don't have a WordPress website, there's, you got Shopify is probably one of the biggest ones out there, but there's others. A simple way that you can pick a template, throw in your logo, change a few colors around, and you can put your products on there and sell. Great little way to do it. But if you're one of those persons or businesses or companies or nonprofits that you want a really nice custom website, you're going to go with WordPress. And with WordPress, one of the biggest e-commerce components that you use with WordPress is called WooCommerce. It's been around forever. It's old, it's clunky, but I mean, it works, but what I don't like about WooCommerce is through the years, it used to be fine, but through the years, just like anything else, they want to make money. So in order to really make that e-commerce website really do what you want it to do, you're probably going to have to purchase a few plugins. And one of those plugins, if you want to sell subscriptions or subscription payments or whatever, you have to purchase every year a plugin to do that. And there's a couple of plugins out there. One's from Woo, right, through WooCommerce, or there's a couple of third-party plugins that will do it for cheaper. And they're anywhere from, like, I want to say $89 a year. And the WooCommerce one is, brace yourself, the last time I looked, which wasn't too long ago, $199 a year, just to have the privilege of doing recurring payments. So a recurring subscription or anything that recurs that will be auto-billed. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So let's take a look at WooCommerce here, and we'll see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so here's WooCommerce. Like I said, it works. It is open source, but in order to make it do anything, you're going to need to purchase some plugins and stuff like that, which really does suck. If you're just selling a basic product, with no recurring fees or anything like that, this is probably just right out of the box. It'll work for you. You install the plugin, whatever page builder you're using, you can make it look pretty. You can do what you need to do and it'll work. But as soon as you start asking for, hey, can I do this? Can I send an invoice? No, you have to have a plugin for that. Well, can I sell a subscription based blah, blah, blah? No, you have to have a plugin for that. Yeah. But like I said, it's been here forever. And the other thing that I don't like about it is very bloaty. It's sluggish, because the coding and it's old, and they haven't refined it at all. They have, but nothing like it should be. So, is there a competitor? There's one coming, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that right now. So here's the. So everybody knows that I am definitely embedded with the Fluent suite. I guess you could call it the suite of tools. Yeah. So WP Ninja. They've developed a suite of tools, and they all start with Fluent. So Fluent Cart that we're looking at right here, Fluent Support, Fluent Community, Fluent SMTP. I mean, there's so many of these. Fluent CRM. I love Fluent CRM, and they all just, they're all self-hosted, and they all talk to each other, right? It's just a wonderful system to get into. And now they're coming out with Fluent Cart, which is pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. So this right here, you can see you can join a waiting list and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what their fee is going to be, but it'll probably be a yearly fee, like anything else that they do. They offer, um, eh, great pricing structure. It's not going to break the bank, but it's going to include everything. You're not going to need any other plugins to do anything. So you'll be able to sell um, tangible goods, digital goods, licenses. I mean, everything. You're going to be able to do everything from within this platform, and really looking forward to that. So it's going to be pretty cool. I think going to be pretty cool. So real quickly here, like I said, I'm not sure. They don't have their prices listed yet because they probably don't really know yet, or they have an idea. They just haven't posted it yet. But I mean, just look at this thing. This is going to be a real big competitor when it comes to, WooCommerce, obviously. But also, why would you go pay for a Shopify account when you can have your own self-hosted e-commerce platform right on your website? Why would you do that? Because with Shopify, like I said, it makes it easy. It gets something up there really quickly to sell products and whatever. Um, but it's expensive. You're paying a monthly fee depending on what level you're at. And then you're also paying on top of that the uh, transaction rate that they have, whatever the hell that is. Yeah, so you're paying a lot of money for Shopify, and you're going to be able to get this, put it on your self-hosted website. You can put it on a cheap host if you wanted to, pay $1 a month. I mean, good luck with that, but you get the idea. You can have this for a very cheap way, but a brilliant way to sell products or services or whatever, uh, all within your website, because it's all self-hosted. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. So let's take a look here. Where this here is. I mean, it's pretty nice. I've looked at it. There's a few creators out there that have already done, and they've got early access to this, that they've played around with it. They've got a bunch of sample products in there, and looking at what they were doing. Yeah, this is going to be pretty good. I would recommend watching Paul here, this first one right here. Yeah, he really looks at it pretty good, and the rest of these guys do too. But it really is. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this coming out, because I think it's going to be a great way, um, and a cheaper way. So when it comes to developing an e-commerce website for folks, when there's like, yeah, because your development fee is up there. Yeah, it's open source, but you still have to pay someone to go in there and make it look pretty, make it work, all that stuff. So it's going to cut that fee way down. So it's going to make e-commerce websites more affordable. Let's do it. Custom e-commerce websites more affordable with this, and I'm really looking forward to that, because I don't like overcharging clients. I want to give them the best product or service that I can possibly give them at a good, affordable rate, a reasonable rate. And I think this is going to be a great way to be able to do that is with this Fluent Cart. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. Well, there you have it. I just wanted to get on here and just kind of shoot the poo for a few minutes. Here we are at 5:32. So hopefully you're out of the office or wherever it is you're working and you're signing off and ready to enjoy your Monday evening. All right. Well, thanks for watching this. If you watched any part of this live, if you are watching this on a recording, thank you so much. And I don't have my little graphics yet for signing up and subscribing and all that stuff. So I'm just going to tell you. Once again, help a small business out if you can. Doesn't cost you anything. And it's just as simple as subscribing to the channel. So if you're liking any of these videos that I do, please consider subscribing, help a small business out. And if you like the videos individually, don't forget to hit that little thumbs up. Yep, we got to conquer that algorithm together. All right. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I love doing these live streams. And now that I've got a little bit of time, I'm going to start doing more of these live streams whenever I can. So there you go. All right. Hey, thank you. Thanks again. And coming from my Mac and my Ecamm Live, adios, enjoy, and do behave. Thanks. Bye.